Hi all, welcome to my channel Any to Many Networks. So today I came up with another topic today. So the topic is about what is IP subnetting. So before I talk about subnetting, let's talk about what is IP address and then how do you denote and what is the size of IP address, what versions of IP we have. I'll talk a little bit about that, and then I'll talk about how do we subnet a network, a given IP address, and then I'll talk one of the questions that came in my CCN exam. I'll talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and see. For that, before that, I have to thank everyone who's watching my channel, and a lot of my friends told me that these videos are actually helping when they're actually going through these interviews. So I really appreciate for watching the videos that I've been uploading on YouTube. So thanks to everyone. So please do like and share and also subscribe to the channel for more videos. So let me go ahead and start what I've started. Okay, so here I'm going to use a pen for just explaining. So yeah, so let's talk about IP. We all know what is IP address, right? IP address is a unique logical address. So what we have two versions of IP. One is IPv4 and other one is IPv6. uh, so what happens is we have IANA, which is Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. So this organization, what actually they do is they give IPs to IP addresses to the companies. Whoever, like for example, if I'm starting a company today, if I want to connect to the internet, I need an IP address, right? So I have to go to this IANA and ask for some IP space to actually as an IP addresses in my company. So for that reason, for my company, for that reason, we need IPv4. And these days, everybody like started like slowly they started using IPv6 addresses as well, because this IPv4 space is almost done. IANA has already given all the IP addresses that we have has given to the companies. So slowly people are shifting towards IPv6 addresses. So if you are actually learning IPv6 addressing, then you have a lot of scope to get into a company and learn a lot of things, because a lot of companies are using IPv6 addressing, and if you know how you can actually configure IPv6 address, and if you know a lot of topics related to IPv6, that would be good for your future if you are in a network field. So that's all about IP. So let me just describe how does an IPv4 address looks. So let me use this. So IPv4 address, it's a 32-bit binary address. So, I'm sorry about my handwriting. So we have 32 bits of binary digits like 0 0 0 0 0 dot 0 0 0 0 0 dot 0 0 0 0 0 dot 1 dot 1 1 1 1, like that. So it will be 8 bits here, 8 bits here, 8 bits here, and 8 bits here. So we can't remember all this 8 bits every time. So it doesn't look good if you say like 0 0 0 dot. If someone asks you like what is your IP address, it doesn't look good if when you say like, hey, my IP address is 0 0 0 dot 0 0 0 dot. It's like it's too complicated. So for that reason, people started denoting this binary address into a decimal notation. So for example, this is 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 255. When you so basically what you have to do is you need to know the conversion of binary to decimal. If you convert this binary digits into a decimal number, you get this IP address. This is easy, 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 255. So if you just say this, is basically easy to tell to anyone if someone asks about your what is your IP address. So I think that's pretty much about IP address. uh, so one more thing is that, yeah, so since I've talked about what is IP subnetting, IP address, so let me talk about what is IP subnetting and why do we actually need to do subnet a network, an IP address that has been given to you. So usually what happens is, so for example, like if you have a slash 8, for example, if you have a slash 8 or slash 16 or slash 24 or slash 32, if a company gets this whole IP address, so this slash 8 means, before I talk about that, I'll just explain what is a network bit and what is host bit. So network bits or host bits nothing but, if it is a slash 8 donation, these are all like it's a classful addressing. I'll talk about CIDR too. CIDR is nothing but a classless interdomain routing. Uh, why we say this? Because a lot of protocol supports the CIDR. I mean, you can represent not only this, you can represent like slash 15, slash 27, like that. So this is CIDR. People doesn't know a lot of, a lot of things related to this. Classful addressing is nothing but like this. If you represent slash 18, 16, 24, 32, that's a classful. If you represent like this is a class less inter-domain routing. So this is the representation. Okay, so let me clear this. Yeah, so so slash 18 slash 8. So what this 8 means, it means 8 network bits. Okay, slash 8 means the first octet. So you have 4 octets. Okay, first dot, second dot, third dot, fourth. So in this first decimal notation, 8 means all ones, all the 8 binary digits that you have to represent in ones. That means slash 8 means all these network bits has to be, you have to put it in all ones. Okay, and remaining all are zeros. 0 means 8 zeros. Okay, and here 0 means 8 zeros, and here 0 means 8 zeros. So all these, so these are 8 bits which you call it as network bits, and all these 3 which are like how many, 24, right? Because it's a 32-bit binary address. 32 minus 8, which will give you 24. So all these 24 bits are your host bits. Okay, that means you can fit, 2 power 24 minus 2 host in that network. Okay, so slash 8 means you can fit 2 power 24 minus 2 hosts in the network. For example, like if I'm starting a company, and if I'm getting a slash 8 address space from IANA, what I can do is I can fit 2 power 24 minus 2 hosts in my network. Okay, but all has to be in slash 8 notation. Okay, so what basically happens is, if all the hosts are available in this slash 8 network address space, then all will be in the same LAN, means same network. So the packet will be revolving around you. You don't have like, so for example, like if you have some multiple departments in your company, like for example, I know that if you have a sales department, if you have a marketing department, if you have a technical department, so all those departments also, whenever you send a packet in the network, all the departments in your network will get those packets. That's the disadvantage of having this whole address space for giving all, like if you have 2 power 24 minus 2 hosts, if you put all those hosts in the with the same address, IP address space, then that's not a good idea for a network. That's not a feasibility or a working solution for your company, because all has to be in one network, and whenever you send a packet, everybody receives it. And like you want to divide multiple departments so that they can talk to themselves only. They don't want to talk to other departments. For that reason, we don't want to put all the hosts in one network. For that reason, we are subnetting, like dividing the whole 8 address space into multiple subnets. Subnets are nothing but subnetworks. You have this whole network, and then you are dividing this into a subnetworks. How do you divide that? I'll just explain here. So you have slash 8, or easy explanation, what I do is I'll clear this. I'll take slash 24. Slash 24 means, as I said, 24 network bits, and you have 8 host bits. So 24 means you will have 24 ones, and 8 host bits are zeros. Okay, so this is how your binary IP address will look like for a slash 24 notation. Okay, and if you want to represent that into a decimal notation, it should look like this: 255.255.0. So these fields you have to remember, guys. Like this will be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So these are the, like, if you, even if you convert, if you add everything, you get 255. So if you remember these values for these numbers, like for this numbers, then it will be easy for you to calculate any IP address or anything, okay, related to IPv4 address. So again, coming to the point, so here what happens is you can fit, you have 8 host bits, so you can fit 2 power 8 minus 2. Why I'm doing minus 2 is because when you have 2 power 8, right, so it means 256. Out of 256 hosts, one would be your network address and one would be your broadcast address. First address, if I'm taking an IP address like this, 192.168.1.0, and the end would be 192.168.1.255. This is a slash 24 notation. Okay, so this 0 will be a network address. I mean, this whole address would be a network address, and this last would be a broadcast address, and all the IP addresses that you have in between are can be used for providing providing IP address. All these IP addresses can be used for hosts. So you can actually use these IP addresses for all the hosts that you have in your network. Okay, so that's how it works. So what I was trying to explain here is, like, again, in this small company where you have only 256 hosts, you want to divide this 256 into 4 departments. So usually people will take HR, technical, sales, and you can take marketing department. So you have 4 departments. HR don't want to talk to technical, or HR don't want to communicate with sales, because if you put all those 256 hosts that you have, 254 hosts that you have in one under a slash 24 notation, then whatever the packet that you are sending, it will be revolving around the whole LAN. But if you divide into departments, so this slash 24 can be divided into 4 networks, so that this HR department, whoever wants to, like, for example, one employee wants to send some packet into a HR department only inside, so that packet will be revolving only in this particular department. The packet don't want to go to this technical, sales, or marketing. You don't want to do that. For that reason, you can put all of those HR employees related to HR in one department, so that they can communicate easily. They don't want, like, their packets don't want to go outside their department if it is related to only for that particular department. Okay, this is one thing that you have to remember. For that reason, we have to do subnetting. I hope you guys got the clear idea why do we need subnetting. So again, one more thing is that since I've talked about how do we why do we need subnetting, I'll just talk how can we actually do a subnetting. What is the process of doing subnetting? I'll explain it in a very easy way, so that you will ever forget that. So the question would be like this. For example, for any company, they want 50 hosts in one network, and they want 30 hosts in one network, and they want 10 hosts in one network, and they have given you this IP address 192.168.1.0/24. the concept that I'm going to explain you right now will help you for everything. Whatever the question that would be asked in an interview about a subnetting, you can use the same concept to solve. So you have to remember this concept in order to solve those questions. So what the requirement of a interviewer is that he needs a network where you can have multiple departments. In each department you want to fit 50 hosts, 30 hosts and 10 hosts. Okay, then how do you subnet with this IP address? So let's go with the basics. So here you have 192.168.1.0 slash 24. Slash 24 means 24 network bits. And how many host bits you would have? 32 minus 24, which is 8. So 8 host bits. You can represent like this: all ones, and 8 zeros. So this is how you represent 8 bits for the host, all zeros. Okay, and what happens is, since you have 8 bits for a host, so 2 power 8 you have to do. 2 power 8 means 256, and you have to subtract 2 because one would be a network address, one would be the broadcast address. So you will have 254 hosts. My requirement is this 254 hosts will be under this subnet mask slash 24, but I want 3 subnets out of this IP address, where I keep 50 hosts in one network, 30 hosts in one network and 10 host network, so that I don't want to waste my IP addresses that I have. I can save some IP addresses. In future I want another department, and for that I want to provide some more IP addresses. Like if I have 10 employees in a different department, out of this 254 hosts, like whatever the hosts like I have here, I will give away them, and then remaining IP addresses that I have, I will provide those IP addresses to a new department who comes into, or like who I have started in my company. That's how it works. So again I will erase this and then start. Yeah, so how do we do it? As I said, 50 hosts, 30, 10, and we have 192.168.1.0 slash 24. So 50 hosts, right? You have to compare this with 2 power n greater than 50. Okay, so this is a VLSM. This concept is called VLSM, variable length subnet masking. Based on the hosts that you have given, so you have to pick the highest number of hosts first in order to provide IP addressing. Like in order to do subnetting, you have to select highest hosts. Out of 50 hosts, 30, 10, you have 50 hosts are the highest ones. So you have to compare that 50 hosts with 2 power n. So what would be the n value? N value will be 2 power 6, because 2 power n, if you put 6 here, it will be 64, and which is greater than 50. You might say like I will put 2 power 7, like n equal to 7 I'll take. You can take 7, but again the requirement is only 50. You don't want to waste a lot of IP addresses by just taking n equal to 7. Okay, and you might, if you take 5, this condition will not satisfy. So the best value that you would be taking for n is 6, so that this equation satisfies, and then you can take n value 6. What is this n value? So you have 8 bits of zeros, right? 4, 8, and till this point it's 24, all ones. So out of this 8 bits, if you get n value, whatever the n value is, whatever the n value, it might be 6, 5, 4, you don't care. If you want to do a variable length subnet mask concept, and then if you want to do subnetting for 50 hosts, you need to leave 6 bits for the host to fit in, because n value is 6, so you have to do it from right to left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to reserve this 6 bits for those 50 hosts, and you have to convert these 2 zeros into ones. So the new subnet mask will be 24 plus 1 plus 1, 26. So the new subnet mask is nothing but this slash notation, slash 8, slash 16. This 8, 16 is called subnet mask. So the new subnet mask will be slash 26, and you can fit with this subnet mask, you can fit a you can actually create a new network and fit this 50 hosts. How you can say? Because again 2 power 6 is nothing but what, 64, right? Out of 64 you can easily fit 50 and you still have 14 hosts. I mean exactly you will not have 64. So again you have to do 2 power 6 minus 2. So it will be 64 minus 2, it will be 62. So you will have 62 hosts. Out of that you will be giving IPs to 50 hosts, and the remaining IPs will be there in your network. For example, if any new employee joins in your department, you can provide that IP address to that guy. That's how it works. And then once you're done with 50 hosts, what happens is like you need to fix the range. How does that range works? 192.168.1 dot you have, I said you have 8 bits, right? So this 6 bits will be given for host bits. And how do you divide the range? These 2 bits, right? This will be converted as 1. The last bit that will be converted into 1, this position value. I told you to remember the values, right? 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. So this value, what is this value? 64. So you need to divide your IP address into a range of 64 IP addresses each. 64, 64, like that. How do you divide it? I'll show you here. 192.168.1.02, 63, 64, 128, 192 to 255, 191, 127. I think yeah, so you will have 4 networks. In that first subnet that you have created, you will be fitting those 50 hosts in this. Okay, so this is, let's say this is a technical department. So this technical department will get this IP address range. In this first value will be network address, and the last value would be the broadcast address, and the remaining addresses that you have in between these two values, that you will be using for providing IP addresses for your employees in that particular department. So that is how it works here. And next, so this is all done. Now again you have 30 hosts. So you have provided IP addresses for 150 hosts, one department. Now as I already said, your requirement is 50, 30, 10. So now you have 30 hosts. How do you provide this 30 hosts? Like how do you provide IP address range for this 30 hosts? Again same thing. You have to take /24. You might say, oh, I have already created /26 and I will be starting from here. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to start it from the top with /24. Again you have to take 8 bits as zeros, because 24 ones are already gone and you have 8 left. So 30, as I said, you have to compare that with the 2 power n 30. Okay, now n will be 5, because if you put n equal to 5 here, 32 is greater than 30, so this equation satisfies. So your n value is 5. So what I said, you have to reserve 5 bits for hosts. You have to go from right to left, 1 2 3 4 5 till this point. These 5 bits are gone, so these 3 bits you will convert that into ones. So your new subnet mask will be /27. Clear? So the last value that has converted into 1, what is the value of this position? 128, 64, 32, right? So you have to divide the IP addresses into a 32 range. Okay, same, go ahead, starting with so it will be .0, 32, 64, 96, 128, and it's so on, and it goes like that. So since the first 64 bits, like the first 64 IP addresses you have already provided for 50 hosts, that which you have done already in the previous section. So the next subnet, which is this, okay, 65.65 to .95, think no, start .64 to 95, here where you can fit those 30 hosts. Okay, because this is already gone, because /26 is already gone and you have fit 50 hosts, because you are available, like you have only 254 Out of that, first 50 hosts are gone in the first 64. The next thing that you have is this 64 to 95, and you can fit 30 hosts here. Okay, you can check, like you can provide the first bit 64, 95 you take, and you have 30 hosts, and you can provide 30 hosts for that. Okay, that's how it works. And the next thing is you have 10 hosts, right? 10 hosts. Again, for even for this 10 hosts also, you have to take slash 24 only. Now so far you have created slash 26 slash 27. This is for 50, this is for 30. Now for 10 hosts, again 2 power n is greater than 10, n equal to 4. If you put n equal to 4, then only you can satisfy this equation. So n equal to 4, again you have 8 bits of zeros. So 4, reserve 4 bits for host, and then last bits, so you have to convert this into 1. So your new subnet mask will be 24 plus 4, it's 28. Clear? 24 plus 4, 28, and then the last bit that has converted into 1 is 16, I guess. Yeah. Now you have dot 0, 192.168.1.0 to 15, 16, 32, and 48, 64. Okay, so it will be in a range like this, 31, 47. So it will be in a range. So first 64 is already gone for the previous 50 hosts, and then next 32 bits are also gone for 32, like 64 plus 16 plus 32 is 96. Till 96 you have already provided. After 96 add 16, you will get 112, right? Yeah, 112. So from this IP address range, from 96 to 112, you will provide this range for this 10 hosts. Okay, so for this 96 to 112, you provide this IP address range for this 10 hosts, where you can fit 10 hosts, and you have some address space again. And if any new employee is joining to this network, you can actually give IP address because you have some space here. So that's how you can save IP addresses. You have /8, either you have /8 or /16 /24 /24. Either in all this, using all this, you don't have to provide, like you don't have to fit all the hosts in single LAN. You can create multiple LANs, and multiple LANs are nothing but multiple subnetworks, and put those hosts so that they can communicate with each other inside that LAN. They don't want to communicate outside also. For that way you will save a lot of time. Okay, so this is all about subnetting, and as I already said that I will talk one CCNA question, talk about one CCNA question here, which have been asked to me. So there is one more method. Before I talk about that, there is one more method that like as I said, you will be asked 50 hosts, 30 hosts, and 10 hosts. In some cases, what people can ask is, I want 15 networks, 30 networks, 100 networks by giving /8. Like that. By giving /8, they might ask you 15 networks, 30 networks, 100 networks. I will try to make another video for this because again it will be too overwhelming for you. But it would be the same explanation only. Like if you have /8, so you will have 24 zeros, and if you have 100 networks, that means again you have to compare with 2 power and 100 greater than 100. So n value you have to get, and whatever the n value that you get, you have to come from left to right this time. Earlier you have come from right to left, right, by reserving. Now you have to come from left to right and then convert all those zeros into ones. That's how you do it. But yeah, I'll try to make another video on this. So what is the CCNA question that was asked me is that where is all this again? Yeah, so I have been given this IP address 172.16.28.252. In interviews also they might ask these kind of questions. One of my interviews that were happened last year, this question was asked to me, like same kind of question, not exactly, but in CCNA this question came to me. So 172.16.28.252, this is an IP address given to me. This is an IP address given to me, and the subnet mask for this IP address is given as like this: 255.255.240.0. I mean, if they say simple like /16 or /17, you might say, oh, there are 17 network bits and there are some host bits. You can calculate it, but people, they confuse you like by giving like this. But you guys know 255 means all ones, 255 means all ones, 240 means you can convert that into a binary number and you can put it here. For simple way, you can add like 128 and whatever the values that you get here, and so this will come like /20. Okay, if you calculate, you get it. So it's a /20. Okay, /20 means here already 16 are there and plus 4, like 8 plus 8 16 and plus 4 here. Okay, so /20 means dot all zeros. This is the main thing that you have to observe. So this is the same thing, I'll write it on the previous slide. So 255.255.240.0, that will be written like this: /20 and 8 plus 8 plus 4 plus 0. This is how it's work. So 8 plus 8 already once gone, and 4 here means 4 ones and 4 zeros, dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 0 0 0. So this is how the IP address in binary looks like. So what they are asking is, what is the network address and what is the broadcast address for the given IP. So the given IP is this: 172.16.28.252, and you have to find what is network address and what is the broadcast address for the given IP. So how do you calculate? As I said, /20 means first 20 bits are gone, and then so /20 means you have to divide it into the range. So what is the last bit that has converted into 1? This, right? So this is what, 128, 64, 32, 16. This is the last bit that has converted into 1, right? So you have to divide the IP address range that you have given, that was given to you, into the 16s, like this, like this. Like this: dot 0 dot 16 dot 32 dot 48 dot 64 15 31 47 63 and so on. So here you can fit 16 IP addresses, same thing, 16 16. So what they are asking is, the IP address given to you is this: 172.16.28.252. The change, where is the change is happening? It's happening in the third octet. The change is happening on the third octet, right? In the third octet, the fourth position from left, the fourth position, the change is happening. So that's what I did. So 172 dot, what is the IP address given? 16. 172 dot 16 dot. So in this place there should be a change for the network address. Forget about the broadcast address, you need to find the network address. Okay, that is the actual question. You need to find the network address. So in this place, what could be the network address? So since they have already mentioned here, it's a .28, that is the IP address. So .28, where it comes? Here, right? In this 16 to 32. So the starting address would be your network address, as I already said. So here it should be 16, right? So because 28 comes in this range. So the network address for the question they have asked is this: 172.16.16.0. Okay, so this is the final answer for this. So these kind of questions you try to practice by using my method, you guys will get it. Okay, so I think that's all I have. Thank you guys. Please try to subscribe, like and share, and if you guys need any more videos, please comment on the videos down there so that I can prepare and get back to you. Thank you.